If you like Blu-ray sales, then I have some good news for you. We're only 6 days into the new year, but we have our first big sale of the year. It is the Arrow Video 50% off sale at Barnes & Noble, both in-store at the brick and mortar stores and also online on their website. And I find this very exciting because you can get 50% off the entire Arrow Video range at Barnes & Noble, including titles that aren't even out yet. Some of the pre-order titles that come out in January are 50% off as well. So I'm on the Barnes & Noble website on my laptop right now, and I'm looking at the Cell, the limited edition 4K, which isn't out until January 21st, and you can get 50% off that at Barnes & Noble right now. The same goes for the Arrow Video edition of Tarantino's Inglourious Basterds, which comes out on January 14th. So if you want to get that on pre-order right now, it's 50% off on the Barnes & Noble website. For my US friends, if you live near a Barnes & Noble store, it's definitely worth going and seeing what they've got in stock during this sale period. It runs from today, which is the 6th of January, all the way to the 3rd of February. So you have pretty much the whole month to go and see what you can get. And there's tons that I want to get as well, but I just received a stack of some good Arrow Video things here. So I've kind of got these to work through first before I even think about perhaps getting some new things. From what I've heard, Barnes & Noble have started increasing the stock levels for Arrow Video and other physical media labels in all of their brick and mortar stores. And I've seen in news stories that they continue to open brand new stores across the United States. And this is at a time when many US retailers have stopped stocking physical media titles. Of course, we know Best Buy stopped selling any Blu-rays and 4K discs. So Barnes & Noble is literally one of the last bastions for how to get physical media if you want to go into a physical shop and have a browse, and it's an experience that I find so valuable. I would certainly miss if we lost the likes of Barnes & Noble in the US and HMV in the UK, because going into a shop and browsing titles, being able to pick something off the shelf and have a look at the back and see if you actually want it and to see it in front of you, that's a good thing. I think it's great to have that before you decide to buy something. And then there's also just the fun of being in a shop and browsing the shelves and just, finding new things that you ordinarily wouldn't find if you were just browsing online. I'm just browsing the sale on my laptop now, and there are so many great titles to check out from Arrow Video. I actually have a big wish list of things that I want to personally get, because over the past year or two, just because of funds and buying all sorts of different things, I haven't actually been able to get a lot of great Arrow things. But my wish list is long. One of the things I do want to get is the upgrade to 4K of The Addiction, which is Abel Ferrara's very stylish black and white vampire movie, which is allegorical for drug use. And like any Abel Ferrara film, it is shocking in parts, it is beautiful, and the Blu-ray I have on my shelf from Arrow Video is a great one. I never got the Barbarella 4K limited edition when that came out, but that is a science fiction cult camp classic with Jane Fonda, an iconic movie which I want to revisit and see what the 4K is like. Another Arrow Video 4K upgrade I'd like to get is Elvira, Mistress of the Dark. I have the Blu-ray. This is a great film that I love to watch every Halloween. Very funny. Elvira is just an iconic character, and I would like to upgrade it to the 4K at some point because it looks great on the Blu-ray, and I think it is the same 4K scan that is used on the 4K disc as on this old Blu-ray. But this film I love to bits, so I do want to get that 4K. You could also get the 4K of RoboCop, which is Paul Verhoeven's science fiction classic. Very violent, very transgressive, and at one point that was in the Criterion Collection on a DVD, but Arrow Video have a great 4K presentation on Blu-ray and on the 4K disc. You could get the Blu-ray of Sidney Lumet's Night Falls on Manhattan, which is a great film with Andy Garcia. One of the sort of underrated films, I might say, in Sidney Lumet's filmography. He made so many films in his career, and while he did make some films that were much better than others, masterpiece level, a film like Night Falls on Manhattan is one that I think deserves a bit of a reappraisal. And even when the Arrow disc came out, I didn't hear too many people talking about the film. So that's one I would thoroughly recommend to anyone who wants to watch more of the career of Sidney Lumet. And you could get something like Donnie Darko on 4K from Arrow, which is a disc I think a lot of people probably already have, but if you haven't I think Donnie Darko is one of those cult classics which I remember the first time I saw it and just being blown away by it, just not really understanding what was going on, what it's about. And it's one I return to again because it's just so enigmatic. And it's one that always brings me back to that first time I watched it. It's very nostalgic in that regard. But the 4K disc is one that is great. And that is in the sale at 50% off. And there's much more in the 50% off sale, so do go over to the Barnes & Noble website and check it out, or if you live close to a Barnes & Noble shop, then head over there and see what is on offer. I know one that has been very popular recently is Demolition Man. I've got that here, so I'll be watching this very soon because, dare I say, it's a film I've not actually seen before. So I will be filling in that gap in my own film knowledge. And I'm sure I'll have more to report on this very soon. Oh, and I also want to mention, not related to Arrow Video, but I've seen Barnes & Noble have now started stocking A24 titles on Blu-ray and 4K, and they're also selling the A24 books, which have the scripts inside, and they're these really nice hardbound books. So definitely something to check out when you're on the website or if you're in store. And I'm sure I'll be talking about A24 titles very soon because there's some new ones coming out which are very interesting. So there's so much to watch, so much to look forward to. And I think 2025 is going to be a great year for physical media. And it definitely will if we continue to have great shops like Barnes & Noble, where you can go and browse the shelves and pick out some great films to add to your own collection. Click the video that's on screen right now if you want some more reviews and recommendations from myself. Until next time, thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you soon.